Sometimes showing up is the shift. I had a collision last night and woke up in a completely altered state and had something to go to where I need to show up really raw and true, and didn't want to because I was already so raw. Like, how much fucking more raw can I be? And how much more raw do I have to, like, show myself to the world to be? But you know what? That's exactly what I'm supposed to do. Welcome to Body of Truth. I am Rebecca Windsor. Body of Truth was born after really allowing my marriage to fall into the state of mythology. The truth came out kind of like with a rip-off of the blindfold or the rose-colored glasses. My 25-year marriage ended with a phone call, and my son shortly after left for college. So I was left with both of those identities. I was no longer a day-to-day mom. My son is very self-sufficient, and I was no longer a wife. So what the fuck was I? And so, in that time of rebuilding that was really messy and painful and rewarding, but like when you're in it, it doesn't feel that way. But I did get some really amazing gifts. And the most important gift is that when you are truly inhabiting your body, you not only can tell when something is right for you because you feel perfectly in alignment, and when you are in alignment, you can hear the voice of God and your creator so much clearer, and you get clearer about what you want and you don't want, what's a lie and what's the truth, what's a story you tell and what is really true, and what are the facts of the situation. And so what I try to do here is I try to share my truth. It's not always pretty, and sometimes it's really messy, but it's always the truth. And that's what I was put here to do. So in this group kind of planning process, it's pretty intense, and it asks you to really draw on not just plans for the future that are idyllic, but pushing your envelope and your comfort zone and your edge, but staying really grounded in the truth. And so after this night of anxiety and a collision yesterday, I showed up in tears, and I thought about turning off my camera. I thought about muting myself and just listening, not being a part of any breakout that there was. And I said, no, I'm messy. I'm human. I'm crying, and I'm here. And so I went into these breakout groups. Most of the brothers are men. And I showed up. I showed up and choked out my words through tears. I showed up, and, I am a human, and I allowed myself to be human. And I honor that we all have that humanity, and we're so quick to, like, shove our shit down or try not to cry or try not to look weak or messy or ugly. And you know what? The beauty of showing up vulnerably allows others to be vulnerable too. By showing up that way, one of my brothers was compelled to share about the true state of his marriage that he wasn't ready to share until he saw that I came ready to hear him, maybe. I don't know what occurred, but there was some sort of a vessel opening in our nonverbal communication that gave him a place to say, maybe I do need to look at this from my wife's perspective, And so sometimes just showing up is your contribution, and not judging yourself harshly and letting yourself be human. Because once you allow yourself to be fully human in your humanity, that's when you get to start to build into something that's even more than human. And you can feel those other doors start to open. And that's fucking disconcerting too. But that's another day. Today I invite you to embrace your goddamn humanity. The fact that we are so not gods, and we are so mortal. But in our mortal bodies, we are capable of such amazing things. Our compassion that we can reach out to others, the love in our hearts that we have to give even when we're hurting. It's so beautiful. The pain that we feel to make sure that we know we're alive and that we're learning and growing. And it's fucking painful. But I fucking sit there in it, and I sit there with you. I am there. And if you are in it, I honor you. I honor your journey. I honor where you're at. I honor the fucking mess that we become. It's amazing. There are days where I am fucking put together. No, regardless of what I look like on the outside, I can feel my shit to click. And then there are days like today where I'm like, wow, the stitches are barely holding. I'm so surprised my guts are not sliding out the sides of my body. Like, how am I even upright? But in showing up, I got the gift of grace. And then I was able somehow to give a nonverbal gift. And that made my whole day worthwhile. So, show up. I ask you to show up. And I challenge you to leave me a comment how you either have shown up today or you will show up today, for others or for yourself. Either way is okay. I will see you tomorrow.